everybody, welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name's Nicole and this is Dusty Book Sniffers, and today I'm here to talk about a little bit of a different TBR. It's not my August TBR. This is one that is going for the next week because I'm off on a cruise. So let's get started. Good morning or good evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while I prattle on about the books that I think I'm going to read on my cruise next week. Alright, so I do have some homework that I need to get done, so I'll start off with that. That is The Library of the Unwritten. It is by AJ Hackwith, and this book is a fantasy book. Let me just have a look. It's a fantasy, it's LGBT, it's urban fantasy, and of course it's fiction, and it was published I don't know why they put that on there, but anyway, it was published back in October 2019, and it comes in at 384 pages. Now, I have to read this for reasons which I cannot go into, but let me just have a little bit of, I don't like to know about the books, so this is really hard for me to go, you know what, I need to read this book, this is what it's about and all that sort of stuff, because I don't like to read the synopsis, because I feel like sometimes I go into things with unrealistic expectations, and I feel like I've also been a little bit spoiled at times, and so I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up Storygraph, and I'm going to give you the blurb, what this is suited, who this is suited to. That's probably the easiest way to do it, because as I said, I'm going to be talking more about this in depth as I go along and how I feel about it and all that sort of stuff, because it's for a project. So let me just bring it up on Storygraph. Okay, so I've brought it up on Storygraph. As I said, it was published in 2019. Now, this is a new this was a new fantasy series. I believe there's 3, so it's a trilogy, and it is about books that aren't finished by the authors, and they reside in a library of the unwritten in hell. Okay, so, and I believe there is a librarian that needs to track down ones that have got out. That's all I know at this point. So, I don't want to know any more than that. I truly want to go into this blind because I want to just give you my raw and honest opinion of that. But it is suited to, it says it's perfect fit for readers who delight in imaginative and adventurous tales that explore the magical world of books and the afterlife, and who are eager to embark on a thrilling journey through the realms of fantasy where the boundaries between reality and fiction blur. So it sounds like, just on that blurb alone, sounds like a pretty good read. Sounds like it's going to be a little bit of adventure and all that sort of stuff. It intrigues me a little bit by reading that first paragraph. But apparently, like, characters emerge and all sorts of stuff. So I have heard a couple of people talk about it and say that they really enjoyed it. But I quickly click off their videos because I knew that I was going to be reading that. So that is the first one that I'm going to be taking with me. Now, I don't have this on audio. I do have it on my Kindle. But however, I have just recently purchased a subscription, a year's worth of Speechify, and I'm using Speechify to read this book, so to see how it goes and all that sort of stuff. So because you can connect Speechify to your Kindle and then it'll read for you. So I've played around with Gwyneth Paltrow, I've played around with Snoop Dogg, and there's Erica, who is an American voice, and I'm now playing around with a couple other accents as well, and I'll find my perfect one and see if it works. For the most part, it's great. Like, it works really well, it's easy to understand. There's a little lack of emotion, but you know, you get that with AI generated voiceovers and stuff like that, but it's going to work for me because I'll be able to listen to it in the car on the way down, because I've got to drive 2.5, almost 3 hours to get down to where I've got to go, and so it's going to be good in that aspect, that I'll get a good chunk of this book done. I don't know how long the audiobook would normally go for, but it's 384 pages, so I'm going to say probably around 15 hours maybe, so I should be able to bring that down a little bit to maybe 10 hours, so I should be able to get at least half the book done by the time I get back from the cruise. All right, so there's that one. That is definitely one that I'm going to be taking. The next one, I just have to jump over to NetGalley, because this is actually a Patreon pick. So each month I take several books off my NetGalley or my library. At the moment, I'm just using my NetGalley because I'm doing group reads and everything with stuff off my shelf. So I have a book on here that is due to come out on the 8th of October. So I'm trying to get ahead a little bit. So I always have something to pick from that's most recent, that needs to get done before it's published, or something that has just been published if I'm behind, and something else that I'm way behind on. So I gave up 3 choices, and out of those 3 choices, A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallace Kinney was actually one of them, and it overwhelmingly won. Now, basically, everybody gets a little link. They go, they can check out what the books are about and all that sort of stuff, and then that way they can make an informed decision on what I'm going to read. So with this one, this also then becomes part of my exclusive content, because I talk about this exclusively, what I think about it. I might do a little bit of research on the author. Is it a debut? Have they written stuff before? I'll have a look into it. So we do that sort of stuff in with this sort of thing. This has been brought out by Alcove Press, and as I said, it comes out in October. It is a witchy type book. It's a warm, spellbinding tale about a witch and the secrets her coven have been keeping from her, which echoes the classic Hades and Persephone story in tradition of practical magic and a Witch of Wild Things. Now, I have not read Witch of Wild Things, although that title does actually intrigue me quite a bit. But Practical Magic, I read and have watched that movie so many times. I've read the book a couple of times, not as many times as I've watched the movie. So this is following the story of Kate. She's known as Kate to her friends, but she goes by Hector Goodwin as well. Has curated a perfect little life as a hedge witch, living in a secluded cottage only with her black cat as company. So it's very much sounds like it's going to be a little bit of slice of life, how her life plays out and all that sort of stuff. I don't want to read any more than that. I read it back when I applied for it and I was approved for it, and I haven't looked at it since. So that's just the little blurb there and the first sentence out of the first paragraph of the synopsis. So it sounds like it's going to be right up my alley. It's going to sound like it's a little bit cozy and all that sort of stuff. But let's head on over to Storygraph, see if it's on there, and if we can't find out a little bit more about it. Okay, so I've just brought up Storygraph, and it says here that it's perfect for people that adore witchy tales, cozy fantasy, and romance, and are drawn to stories that celebrate the magic of Halloween, the Halloween season, in its themes of self-discovery, trust, and the power of love and family secrets. So this sounds like it's a little bit up my alley. Actually, this sounds a little bit more than cozy fantasy. This sounds like a little bit of literary fiction as well. So it's probably going to be right up my alley. I do love a good witchy tale, and as I said, it has in the little blurb on NetGalley, it says that it has that practical magic sort of vibe to it. Now, I know that I'm reading this out of the witchy season, but it is due in October, and I have a ton of books to get done, and I woke up this morning to 16 new approvals on my some of them I actually put there last night, which must have triggered publishers to check it out, because 16 went up. I only put on 3, which were 3 cookbooks. These are other books and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to worry about them until I get back. I might review a couple while I'm on the cruise, you know, if I'm looking to do something a little bit different or whatever. But that is A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallace Kinney, which I'm super excited to read that. And it's been sitting there taunting me, so I'm glad that they picked it, and now I can get to reading that and also vlog my experience while I'm on the cruise with it. Now, I know that I said I'm going away and all that sort of stuff, but it's only going to take me a little 5-minute here, a 5-minute there, and I'm going to be reading a book which I really want to read anyway. All right, the other 2 books that I'm going to take with me, I'm not going to actually take my physical copies because I am going to be out on the ocean, and we all know that humidity, because we're going into a humid area, humidity really does affect the paperback and whatnot. So I'm going to leave these here. One is the Poppy War second book, which is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This is a group read that we're doing. If you want to know about that, that's all in the Discord. You can see that linked up down below. And this is just following on from book 1. I can't really talk much about what this is going to happen in this, because it's going to give things away in book 1. And book 1 was a bit of a wild ride, but I was happy that I read it, and now I'm keen to get onto this. So I put my bookmark in it, but I decided I'm not going to take it because this is actually a signed copy as well, so I don't want that damaged. And the next one, which this date has been pushed back, I think, to the 23rd or something. Anyway, I can't remember what date it's been pushed back to, but Black Veil has been pushed back because a few people are behind on the High King's Tomb, and I believe this has been pushed back into August. But I'm going to get a jump start on it because I do have a lot of stuff coming up in August and September with readathons, and I've got a NetGalley one happening in November. I've got a lot of stuff coming up, so I'm just going to keep trucking along, and I'll slowly read through this. I won't rush through it, like finish the whole thing, but I will definitely get to it. It's been good to actually have a week's break between 3 and this one, the 4th book. I've actually enjoyed my time away from the Green Rider, but I'm really excited to get into it. And I've also had a week break between Poppy War and this one, so I feel like I'm well rested now and I can get into them. By the time I get to the Poppy War, which will be on the cruise, I will probably just end up finishing that off. I do have that on audiobook, so I will probably just take a couple hours in the morning, go and read, because I get up early anyway, go and sit out by the pool and just soak in some sun, and then probably bookend my day after dinner, go and sit out on out in the cool air at night and do a few things. So yeah, so that is my cruise TBR. Nothing too strenuous, as I said, a little bit of homework and something that I want to read, but keep an eye out when I get back. There'll be no videos next week, but keep an eye out for different things that'll be happening that I've done on the cruise and all that sort of stuff. I'll be definitely sharing that with you. But as always, don't forget to like this video. If you've yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, set it to all notifications. That way you're not going to miss out on anything. We do lots of stuff here, like reading vlogs, reviews. We also have quite a number of sprints here as well, and of course we also have a Patreon, which you can come over and join, and you get early access to all the content. You get to do some other things as well, so go over, have a look, and you can see what is there, and you can pick a level that suits your budget. Of course, if you can't, that's fine too, because you know, just by watching this video and clicking on the like button and subscribing to my channel, that is also supporting me as well. All the links for the socials and the Discord and everything like that is also linked up down underneath this video, so you can find all that information there. But as always, keep turning those pages, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.